Let me get us up here real quick. Bam. Bam. I am big fan. This is Hollywood J Black. How you doing tonight, friend?
You know, living the dream, sir. Living the dream. What's going on with you this evening?
Some very, and like we said before we started the show, some very, very disturbing allegations have come out in the last 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
Regarding some of the biggest stars in wrestling.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think shit like this should be tolerated at all. I do think that if it is real and there is proof, which obviously there is, when I read into some of these things, that these athletes associated need to be gone.
No, definitely. It's a lot to take in because WWE has a specific policy where WWE doesn't even really pull the trigger on things like that until legal charges are brought forth. Okay? And so that's what separates like who stays versus who goes. Now, I mean, they tweeted out this policy yesterday, like when this started blowing up. It's a specific policy is that when somebody's charged with a criminal offense, that they're suspended until further notice. The fact that this happened on the road, I'm going to speak on one specific example, the Matt Riddle example, where the lady described that she was in a car with Matt Riddle and 3 other wrestlers. Matt Riddle told him to give her some, get on and basically ride him, straddle him. She refused, but she ended up giving him head because she didn't want to have sex with him, which is a bizarre case in and of itself. But the fact that in that, who knows where they were traveling on the road in that specific instance? Obviously, if you're traveling with 5 people, you're on the road somewhere, and they said it was an overnight trip.
And she did admit that they had a prior relationship.
Yeah.
But Matt had since been married when this occurred.
Yeah. Which is, and then, of course, now the wife is responding that the chick is a psycho, blah, 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 all that mess. And I'm just like, this whole shit is messy. It's very, very messy because if we take what she says at face value, both of them are trash, but Matt Riddle's bigger trash because she knew in the text messages she knew that he was married and she went along with the relationship, but he pushed the limit and shouldn't have went as far as he did if she had said no. So it's you see how bad that situation is, but that's not the only one. There's another.
We're going to get into that more, but first let's talk about what happened to Backlash and starts about the card or the results of the card. Backlash was a hit and miss pay-per-view, I think.
Yeah.
So
it broke even.
The kickoff show, unfortunately, they did Apollo Crews and Andrade wrong by moving them to the kickoff show for a bullshit tag team championship match. But it is what it is.
Yeah. I thought, oddly enough, I was worried that it was going to be the end of Apollo Crews' reign. And I'm like, shit, with Paul Heyman and gone and everything else, I mean, you could have just bet everything was off at that point. I'm glad that they decided to stick with Apollo Crews being the champion for a little while. And then some tendencies happen that we got to talk about coming in on Monday, but we'll get to that when we get to Raw. But it was a good shot. No, it was a good start. The match was a great match. I'm just pissed off that it was on the pre-show.
Yeah. It's one of those they moved it to the pre-show because at the last minute they wanted to use the footage they recorded of the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders.
Yeah,
so
which was hilarious, and we'll talk about that.
It was hilarious, but I think that could have been the pre-show.
True, very true.
So next up we have Apollo Crews got the victory, keeps his title. Apparently they're going to keep on this Apollo Crews train, even though Paul Heyman is no longer there to vouch for him. But I think Apollo Crews over the last few weeks has proven his worth as the U.S. champion.
Well, yes. And like I said, we'll discuss what happened on Monday, which makes things even more interesting in this scenario. So
we mentioned something might happen that we talked about last week.
Yeah, exactly.
So next up, the actual pay-per-view kicked off with the women's triple threat tag team title match: Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus the Iconics. At one point in this match, Alexa Bliss dropkicked John Cena because she did not see her opponent and just threw an air dropkick somewhere.
The flying nothing, as we like to say, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest move in sports entertainment, the flying nothing. But yes, this match, I said this had to go the way that it did go, with Bayley and Sasha winning. I said I don't really see it going anywhere else. I said you can't really have them just win the titles a week prior and then have them drop them on the pay-per-view the next week. It just doesn't work. So.
Especially when you're building up this big SummerSlam match.
Yeah. But it also brings the star power to the tag team, the women's tag team championship, because now if they're traveling on all three shows, that means that you'll have the stars, your women's champion, on all three shows now, just kind of how you did it with Charlotte Flair.
Next up, we have a match that we both called wrong because we thought the one person in this match could not lose, but he lost. Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to continue on with this storyline for another month or two. That's what has me shook. I'm like, we got to ride with this for another couple months now. Oh my god. Okay. The only thing that I can imagine this turning to, what's the next pay-per-view?
The next pay-per-view is the newly colored, Jeff Hardy colored Extreme Rules.
So that's where you know that this probably had to end up at. It's the only reason why this continued the way it did. Because I was thinking either Extreme Rules or TLC. There's going to be one or two. But Extreme Rules has to be where this damn feud dies. Please let it die.
So Fox actually had to edit the video because people were complaining that Sheamus got fake piss thrown into his open mouth.
How they edit it? Make it darker color? I don't know what the fuck they did.
No, what they did, they actually moved 90% of that out of the video package now.
Why? Let that man get hit with fake piss. Who cares? I mean, if it had a light hue yellow tint, who cares? Piss comes in all colors from clear all the way down to burnt orange. I mean,
if that was really Jeff Hardy's piss, then he was severely dehydrated because it looked like what you're drinking right now.
Well, somebody tells him that he needs some water. Okay.
If anybody watching, if you want us to see the comments quickly, just go to the Sinful Black Sports page and comment there, not on my personal page or James's, because they won't show up here. Let me know.
Oh, we have comments? Comments?
Yeah, I guess they're coming up on my share thing. So
you're a comment hoarder, sir. Comment hoarder.
Next up, we have Asuka versus Nia Jax, and we said this when we did the predictions for this show. There is no way you put the belt on Nia Jax, knowing what she has done to Kairi Sane the last 3 times they have wrestled.
Yes. Asuka got the most out of Nia Jax in this match. Double
count bullshit.
Yeah, I know, which is good though, because I mean, I guess it protects Nia Jax. But it kind of just dismisses her without going into while we kick off our next feud, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I thought to myself, what happens to Nia Jax from here? Do they just creative has nothing for her? I honestly think it's a ticking time bomb that's going to pop up at Extreme Rules for some reason. So Michael Cooper said, Steelers rock.
Fuck the Steelers, man.
Oh,
yeah, Jesus.
So, a shout out to Asuka for taking the dub.
I said Steelers rock. No, the Steelers are garbage. Hot garbage with Joe Pesci as their quarterback.
And when I say dub, I don't mean that she actually won, but she took the dub as in she didn't lose, which is always good. Nobody won, nobody lost, everybody's happy. Yay!
So next up, we have the handicap match. The last time Braun Strowman defended the title in the handicap match was at WrestleMania, in which Sami Zayn, the former Intercontinental Champion, because he didn't want to go at the coronavirus thing, won the belt from Braun Strowman. But this was sheer and utter dominance from Braun Strowman, and it was a John Morrison highlight reel.
Probably some of John Morrison's best work since being back in the WWE.
I love you too, Mike.
Some of the best work John Morrison has been through since coming back. The psychology on that one when they changed the rules, which was a trip. I'm like, how do you change the rules right before the match?
Because you have to protect Braun Strowman, especially with what they're building up right now.
Dude, he could have mowed through both of them and stacked the bodies on top of each other, and we would have been fine. That's how you make it.
This is the first time since before John Morrison was fired from the WWE that him and The Miz had an odd moment.
Yes, I know. Which you think is going to end up being Miz versus Morrison at SummerSlam?
Possibly, which I'm down for.
Because they barely had a match to settle that feud. So
yeah, because John Morrison was getting fired. So, all right, next up we have the heinous assault of Drew McIntyre's jacket against Bobby Lashley. So Bobby Lashley saw on the Master Lock when Drew McIntyre was barely doing his entrance.
So
they've had better matches.
Yes, but the match psychology in this one was actually really good. Attack the man, put him down before the bell rings, and that way you can just pick the bones as you go. The problem is that Drew McIntyre is better than Drew Galloway, and so I don't think that Bobby Lashley was expecting what he got, and he still ended up catching the Claymore. 1, 2, 3, it was a wrap, but both men looked really good in that match.
Yeah, it was one of Bobby Lashley's better performances. He caught the Claymore after catching the Scottish Kiss and then headbutting Lana in the MVP, and then Claymore game over.
Yeah. So what came out of this one is that Bobby Lashley wants a divorce, which we're finally
that way kayfabe can stop being broken on YouTube from that chiropractor who just posted videos 2 weeks in a row of adjusting Rusev and CJ Perry, and they're still living together and at their house being married. And again, another kayfabe breaking moment, which I shared on one of our chats, is Jeff Hardy and Sheamus training together. Good job, guys.
That's right.
Good job.
That's right. That's
Next up, we have what I can only call the most hilarious debacle in tag team wrestling history. We have the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. Together, they are known as the Viking Profits. And this match had ninjas, a turkey leg, a bowling ball to the nuts, swords, axes, golf clubs, Braun Strowman's poor car getting the fuck beat out of it again.
Yeah. So the one thing I took away from this is that Godzilla is canon in WWE lore. Did you see the giant tail taking a swipe at all of them? Yes.
That was the alligator that was in the trash can.
It was Godzilla.
It was 7'3" ninja's cock.
I'm trying to figure out where they found the big ass ninja from.
Okay, so the big ass ninja is an African wrestler who is now in NXT.
Okay.
He's actually in that picture I sent you earlier. He's sitting next to Keith Lee.
Oh,
the Undertaker. That big dude sitting there. That's who this ninja is. When I first seen it, first thought that popped in my head is Shaquille O'Neal.
Hey, you know what though? If they really wanted to pull that one off, especially since you have the Big Show versus involved in this feud somehow, somewhere, some way.
Big Show is always involved in everything. Let's not get it twisted.
That they can unmask the Ninja Shaquille O'Neal, which sets up the match that WWE has been wanting for fucking years now.
A 60-year-old Big Show against a 50-year-old Shaq.
Yes.
Hi, Pacquiao Mayweather. May we borrow your script?
That's Vince McMahon, by the way.
All right, so these two teams continue their amazing comedic performances. One of the more shocking moments of this is when Angelo Dawkins pounced Ivar through a glass window.
That was glorious. In the words of Bobby Roode, that was fucking glorious, yo. Fucking love the hit.
And then it cracked me up because Ivar is a big man who's one of his main attacks is a running clothesline that's like a freight train. But yet he could not keep up with them running on top of the semi-truck.
Godzilla was in there. So, I mean...
the funniest part is Eric telling Montez Ford, you pushed me off a damn truck. And then Angelo Dawkins looking at Ivar saying, you pushed me off the truck and then jumped on us. This all broke down to where a bunch of ninjas came up on crotch rocket motorcycles. And then you had the 80s ninja action montage of Ivar catching the turkey leg like it was Thor's hammer.
Which makes me wonder, when are we going to get the payoff for this one? Because now they're busy with the damn ninjas.
We're never getting the payoff to this feud.
Is it going to be SummerSlam? Is that what it's finally going to be?
We're never getting the payoff for this feud.
Will SummerSlam ever happen?
No, it'll be a Survivor Series when it's the Viking Raiders against when it's the Viking Prophets against the Ninjas, and the Viking Raiders become the War Raiders again and kill the Street Profits. That's how it's going to happen.
No, it's going to be Survivor Series, the Viking Prophets versus the entire Raw locker room, like it was Cena and Orton versus them. That's how this is going to be settled. The entire Raw.
Shit. I mean, you could always have the Viking Prophets against all Bray Wyatt's personalities.
Oh my God.
Husky Harris, fucking cult leader Bray Wyatt, fucking Firefly Fun. We'll get to that here in a little bit. So, next up, we have the greatest wrestling match ever. And I'm going to say this. I've watched this match 5 times.
Okay.
The first time I watched it, I had the volume on. And I appreciated Howard Finkel, the Finkel doing the entrances. That really touched me.
Yeah.
I did not appreciate the filtered in fan noise when Edge was coming out. That was a little weird. The camera angles, all they used was the Money in the Bank camera. The only real one they used is when they showed Edge's petrified face before he got rope DDT.
It's still a beautiful angle, though. It's still
the other 4 times I watched it on mute.
Okay.
The reason is because I wanted to appreciate what they did. And was it the greatest wrestling match ever? No. What it was a callback and a reflection of wrestling over the years.
Now, I will say that out of all the Edge Orton matches, which there really hasn't been many, but out of all the Edge Orton matches, to me, it was the best one.
And it was the great comedy. That's like bringing back Giant Gonzalez.
So it was the best Orton versus Edge match ever. And they had some good matches when they did it. So I can say that this was the greatest match against those two. And probably the greatest match with ring psychology that was involved with these two. Greatest match ever? No. I don't think it was ever going to live up to that hype. We talked about this last week. I didn't think it was going to live up to that hype. However, these two men put up a really, really great match with great ring psychology to the point where Undertaker actually mentioned this on Corey Graves' podcast.
Yeah, after the bell.
Yeah. So he stated that the problem with today's wrestlers versus the wrestlers of his time is that wrestlers now rely on athleticism instead of telling stories, which in fairness is true. They do rely a lot of their athleticism when they should be actually telling stories and drawing people in. That's why Triple H's plotting style works, because it draws people in. And why, while Will Ospreay is considered one of the greatest wrestlers in the world, you probably won't see him in WWE. Not necessarily, like, only because that he's not a WWE type of wrestler. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I guess he would be in the same position as Ricochet would be in. Like which is crazy because Prince Puma told really good stories in Lucha Underground as opposed to Ricochet. But that's the problem that I have here. That's the problem that I'm getting at, is that Undertaker's right. When you see this match, you're like, holy shit, you understood every minute of it. You understood the desperation that Edge was under trying to be Edge. And then when he tore his tricep and still trying to be Edge and failing, Randy Orton really needing this win. You know, you felt that when you watched this match at every single moment. And that's what really kind of just caught us. Like, wow. Like wow.
Yeah, I'm a traditionalist. This match fed to my love of professional wrestling. Like I said, I've watched it on mute 4 times because I can enjoy it more watching it that way.
Yeah.
The funniest part about the match is, and I know you heard it, and the whole world heard it clear as day, is when Randy Orton had Edge draped over the table and said, "I'm going to fucking murder you."
That should have been a felony right there. That was felony threats. It's on tape. We need to get the authorities in here. Law and Order, SVU. Dun, 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 dun.
As far as Backlash goes, what is your overall grade out of 10?
C.
A C out of 10?
Yeah, C out of 10. That's right. No, like a 7.
What's your overall grade out of 10? C.
Yep, that's right. C out of 10, damn it. C out of 10. C, senor, C. No, all seriousness. It was good, but they balanced out their good with too much bad, too much awkward booking that doesn't tell a story. I mean, for example, Sheamus and Jeff Hardy should have had a double count out. That would have been better. Okay? As opposed to Asuka and Nia Jax, which needed their victory to get to where we were getting to on Monday, which we'll talk about. But that's what needs to happen. To me, like those things, the bad booking decisions ruined what was otherwise a decently stacked pay-per-view. Miz and Morrison had good psychology at the end. Once you understood the rules, the psychology came into play, so that made sense. Okay. We had who else? The Viking Prophets made sense while not making sense. But it was all entertaining as hell. Like we didn't know what the fuck was happening. We don't know whether it was a dream sequence, whether this was reality. Who fucking knows? But it was entertaining. But like I said, the decisions with Asuka, Jeff Hardy, putting the United States title on the pre-show, it's too much. Too many things that I can't get past.
I give it a 7 also. It was an entertaining pay-per-view. Was it their best? No. Was it their worst? No. It was very entertaining. And I actually thought for the first time in a long time, it was better than the NXT show that was the week before. I thought it was better than In Your House.
The bad part about In Your House was the main event. See, this is what happened. With In Your House, we were getting there, and we can cap this son of a bitch off, and then we fell off a fucking cliff.
But then the women saved it, but it couldn't save the whole show.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We were getting there. You know, NXT has climaxes. Really, you don't usually see something tank a whole show where you have to where the next match has to uplift everything. And rarely does the NXT championship be in the tanking position. Usually the NXT title tells a story. And we were told a story, but it felt like, I don't know, maybe Velveteen Dream found out he was not going to win the title that night, and maybe it was like,
oh. Hold on, Michael, that the Overtime Sports Show will be on Monday night, and we'll get into that one.
Yes, definitely. So that's it. See, NXT falling off a cliff wasn't as bad because we knew where we were going and we thought we were going to get to a good place, and then fuck. This one was up, fuck, up. Actually, no. Let's start it. Fuck up, fuck up, fuck up. That was the pay-per-view. That in your house, fuck up. That's what it was. That should be the official name.
And I'm not even upset about the Karrion Kross squash because I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, well, we knew about Karrion Kross. That was fine, but that's how it's supposed to be. If you're going to establish a big ass star, you know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to. What he wants to know about some NFL updates?
He wants NFL talk. That's what he wants.
Oh, man.
Monday night.
But we got to talk about everybody being fucking sick. Who knows they're going to be a fucking, right? Tom Brady staying away from the facility because motherfuckers got coronavirus. Right.
Now we're going to talk about this week in wrestling and the speaking out movement. If you have not heard, we said at the beginning of the show, there's a reason we didn't play our intro music tonight. We want to pay respects to the speaking out thing, but we'll get to that after we talk about this week in wrestling. Monday Night Raw, we found out that Mustafa Ali has been traded to Raw, so the hacker angle is probably dead on SmackDown.
Which is weird because he was in the crowd on SmackDown on Friday.
And not only that, he's still in the SmackDown intro package.
I don't know. I can't talk. Listen, that's how you know they don't give a fuck about you, because they can't even change the intro right after they trade your ass. Come on now, let's be real. I don't know. Piss me off. Anyways.
All right, so Monday Night Raw was a mixed bag. It had some good moments. We had Bobby Lashley ask Lana for a divorce, which was a good moment, and that should have happened during the Rusev storyline, so Rusev would still be there.
Yes.
Too little too late on that one. We had the most interesting moment of the night is Dominic dominating Seth Rollins.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a good thing. He didn't see it coming. Obviously, he didn't see a flying Mysterio. I mean,
he didn't see it coming.
Even though the intro says, look up into the sky, it's R-E-Y, Mysterio, here we go, but he's supposed to look in the sky. He's supposed to look in the sky, Phil, okay? Come on now. He didn't look in the sky.
Dominic pulled off the great heist on Monday Night Raw, not only stealing the show, but also not getting anybody's hands put on him.
Which is perfect. I love it.
But I do believe he's actually under quarantine right now because he ran right by the young lady who tested positive for COVID-19 the next day.
Well, as long as she didn't cough on him, he'll be fine. No worries.
What else happened on Monday night? We had more Viking Profits against Ninjas, which was fun, which she said the Big Show got involved in.
Yes. That's what I said. So now we got the Big Show. And the Viking Profits. And they're fighting large and small ninjas. I think next week's match on Raw is I think it's the Street Profits versus some ninjas. I think that's what's gonna happen, and I'm so confused.
But I am happy that they're using Akira Tozawa. I am happy for that.
This is the weirdest timeline. That's what I guess I'm trying to get at. I mean, first Akira Tozawa was being a decent jobber, putting up classics against Andrade. Now
getting his head kicked off by Alice. That's what happened. Aleister Black hit him with Black Bass, and then he came back as a ninja.
Fucking Black, man. That shit looks brutal always, but This is just weird. I have no idea even how to explain this. I tried to explain this one to my son that that this dude is facing some ninjas, and he just looks at me funny, and then I just look at him funny, and then I just say, "We're moving on." Anyways,
so storylines like this make it hard for people like me and you to explain our love of professional wrestling.
Yeah, like if this was the '90s, I'm with this shit. I'd be like, ninjas, nigga, it makes sense. You see, I'll drop a whole
ninjas
diagram
versus the headbangers. Goddammit, that's what we have in the '90s.
I have a whiteboard diagram right here, if I could, to explain to you why ninjas make sense in this particular storyline. This right now is just pure unadulterated fun. I'm
here for it, especially if the real payoff to this is Tozawa and the Giant Ninja winning the tag team titles.
Oh my god! I'd be like, listen, okay. See, when you take the hypotenuse of an isosceles triangle and you mix it by 2/3, right, and then you spin it on his head, you'll see the portal where the ninjas came through another timeline where they were the tag team champions, and they saw that they were the tag team champions in this timeline under Ninja Freebird rules, and they said, no, that we came to get our tag team championships and align all the timelines. Oh, see?
Ninja Freebird rules. Holy shit.
But I can't do that because Godzilla was on a pay-per-view, and Godzilla's canon in WWE. I can't explain the ninjas and Godzilla. Japan can only fuck us once, not twice, okay? I mean, fuck.
Oh, my goodness. We also... So, one of the other big stories coming out was a very weird edit for the WWE because we had Shelton Benjamin talking to Apollo Crews, telling him to accept MVP's offer, but then they didn't show MVP talking to Apollo Crews until after that was said. And then they had the Shelton Benjamin Apollo Crews match.
Oh, and then they had MVP talking to Shelton Benjamin saying that I'm going to get you a U.S. title match. All that.
The editing for this week's Raw was asshole garbage.
Oh, but then you had
Apollo Crews for Eddie Guerrero to keep his U.S. title.
Cheat to win ese. Órale. La viva la raza.
I just have a feeling MVP's going to be like, look, Apollo gets it. Why don't you, Bobby? And Dolph Ziggler has also been traded to Raw.
You lie, you cheat, you ooh-ha. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Ooh-ha. That sounds like a sex. Anyway.
Lie, cheat, ooh-ha, 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 ooh-ha.
But you know what that's going to cause, James?
What?
It's going to cause the ninjas. Ha! 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 Ha!
That'd be perfect. And see, we can finally align the timelines. You know what's messed up about this whole shit? Like this whole thing that's going on with MVP. MVP literally has a tag team that he's managing that hasn't been on TV for a fucking month. And the worst part about it is that if they pulled it off right, he'd have two tag teams. Imagine MVP managing Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. I'm good with that. Like MVP is trying to bring the Beatdown Club, the Beatdown Clan, back into the WWE. He's trying to resurrect it. I'm fucking here for it. Okay.
You know, certain people are looking at this more of a nation of domination style thing.
Man, listen, it could go either way we wanted to, especially with, Vince McMahon would love to make a storyline out of what's going on in the world, and he gives zero fucks.
Have Farouk and MVP run that shit.
Yes. No, this
then you have to bring back racist JBL to get him some country boys.
No. Nigga gonna bring back that lawyer dude. Remember the black lawyer from the 90s, nigga? Remember him?
The guy who quit because it was getting too controversial?
Yes.
Why bring him back when you got that black dude leading those two giant fucking Saudi guys in fucking NXT. He could be Clarence Walker.
Because we need actual legal counsel, okay? Actually, no, you know what? Fuck that. We got David Otunga. Bring David Otunga back as the legal counsel for MVP's Beatdown Clan, right? Be like, you see here, Title V, Section C, Paragraph 2 means that you can't touch my tag team champions until the pay-per-view. See, it rhymes. You see that? There you go.
So let's move on to something less goofy right now, and that's AEW, where Orange Cassidy is legit pissed off and fucking people up. It was Chris Jericho somehow pissed off Orange Cassidy so bad, Orange Cassidy changed his clothes.
Yes, it was also to the point where, like, the crowd was shocked. The AEW wrestlers were like, "What the fuck?" Like,
because Orange Cassidy put a beating on Chris Jericho like nobody is, like Orange Cassidy is not known for doing.
And I thought to myself, the crowd must have been thinking Jericho's going to kill this man at Fyter Fest.
But now we have a guy who aren't in Orange Cassidy who took a premier athlete like Pac to the limit when he didn't give a shit. Now giving a shit, going against the legend.
Oh, this is going to be fun. I'm here for it. Listen, Orange Cassidy then snapped. You're going to see his full talent base. I want to see Orange Cassidy versus Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship.
I have a feeling that's going to happen.
I mean, the way
Orange Cassidy might win that fucking belt.
Could you imagine?
Because that would set Cody Rhodes off.
Could you imagine it happens right after he takes on the challenge of Jake Hager? Like, Jake Hager takes Cody to the limit, and Cody somehow pulls this shit off. And then next Wednesday, he's like, I'm not sure about this. Defending it every week, I might need a week off, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And then he doesn't take Orange Cassidy serious, and then he ends up getting pinned by Orange Cassidy. I'm fucking
Orange
here
Cassidy
for it.
is your new TNT champion.
Oh my god, the ratings though, everybody fucking loves Orange Cassidy though.
So one of the best things they got going in AEW right now is Dr. Britt Baker and her exceptional work as a heel.
Oh man, this is she's channeling her inner Adam Cole, baby. You know what I'm saying? Just douchebag heel.
Adam Cole is always up in her.
He's like, "Are you a heel? No. Would you like some heel inside you?"
Baby. But her segments have been some of the highlights of AEW as of late.
Yes. I think last week was not this past week, but last week was vintage heel Britt Baker. I loved it, and I'm like, where do we go from here? Well, you done pissed off Big Swole to the point where she channeled her inner Undertaker and was like, "Where to, Doctor?" Fuck.
Right?
And then drug her.
But then what I thought was brilliant though, you hear Britt Baker just yelling and cussing out cameramen who are standing there.
Yes.
Because in the WWE, when big important things are happening, the wrestlers act like the cameras ain't there. Even though it's on TV, they act like the cameras ain't there. AEW, Britt Baker's like, "Help me out of this fucking trash can, you asshole."
They're like, "Nah, we're good. We're good. You'll be all right. We're not trying to catch Corona."
Then we had a great match between the Natural Nightmares against Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. And who'd have thought that before this night, the Natural Nightmares were undefeated as a tag team?
Yeah, this whole year they were undefeated, and that was their only loss this year was against the tag champs.
I'm not a fan of QT Marshall. I don't like him.
No, but he's a really good wrestler. Remember, he's a wrestler trainer first and foremost, and so his style is an old school style, plotting style, with a little bit of a little bit of aerial moves, but he does it like Triple H. He's kind of like a Triple H style wrestler with a little bit of moves.
The amazing thing out of this match, though, was Dustin Runnels doing a second rope hurricane on Kenny Omega.
Yeah, well, you already know you got to step up to the plate when it comes to when you fuck with Kenny Omega. Like
Dustin is wrestling better than he did 20 years ago right now.
Dude, Dustin now would beat the shit out of Goldust in 20 years ago. Beat the living ever holy hell out of Goldust, bro. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you. He would run circles around Goldust. Matter of fact, I should find a way to sim that. We should sim Goldust versus Dustin Rhodes. We're gonna find a way, but I love fucking Dustin. I have respect for QT Marshall. He's not my favorite, but he got support from me remember when the Butcher and the Blade?
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, you can bring anybody as your partner, but nobody wants to."
You talking about Hotline Miami right now?
Yeah.
They no longer Butcher and the Blade. They look like Miami Vice looking ass motherfuckers.
I know, right? I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "This is confusing."
But the weird thing is Allie. What are they doing with Allie? At first she's the bunny. First she's Allie, then she's the bunny. Now she's Allie. She's with QT Marshall now.
Yeah.
Is this a brand on the Butcher and the Blade?
It could be to take him out from the inside out. It could be. It could very well be. And
on Dark, Brandy and Allie won a tag team match.
Did you see that match?
Yeah.
So Brandy won that match. Allie just got the win.
I was going to correct myself. Say Brandy won that match. And if you haven't checked it out, check out A Little Touch of Brandy featuring John Moxley on YouTube.
Dude, everybody forgets that Brandy's the hell of a wrestler. Like, she trained to be a wrestler in WWE. You know what I'm saying? Before she trained to be an announcer.
She got the NXT training.
Yep. And so, along with after getting with Cody Rhodes and getting that type of training, and so with him and Dustin, I mean, she's very polished, takes bumps very well. Like, and what's cool about the Rhodes is that they're humble. You know what I'm saying? Cody could have went all right without winning the title. Tony Khan wanted him to win the title because he's the biggest babyface that they got. But Cody Rhodes is showing non-babyface tendencies, bro.
Okay, so they're feeding a story to everybody right now. So you got Arn Anderson with the Rhodes family, Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
You have Tully Blanchard with Shawn Spears.
Yep.
And now you have the Revival.
Yep.
Who, during their match, threw this up during the match. While Shawn Spears and Tully Blanchard were in the audience.
Yeah. It's all leading up to something.
Cody, Shawn Spears, and FTR as the new Four Horsemen.
Yep. I think so. Remember, everybody's been talking about it. And even Cody Rhodes, when they mentioned it, I think somebody said that FTR, Cody Rhodes, and Shawn Spears. And remember now they're talking, and Cody Rhodes questioned if he was still in the Elite because nobody came and had his back. This is going to be fun over the next few weeks, a few months or so. It's a long-term storytelling.
And they actually also did something they haven't done right yet until last night.
Which was?
Until this past Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Debuted two new stars at the same time and then kill one of those stars.
Which is impressive. Which I was like, they made a huge big deal about Anna Jay coming to AEW. Like, this was huge. Like, they did Twitter promos and they made Anna Jay look like the biggest of big deals. Okay. And then fucking Abaddon, which I saw on AEW Dark like 3 or 4 months ago.
She's had one match previously in AEW.
Yeah, when we still had crowds, she was like I said, 3 or 4 months ago. And I was just like, holy shit. When I first saw her, I'm like, they're having her face Abaddon? I said, Abaddon impressed the last time. I'm like, there's gonna be something. And then
Abaddon ran through her.
Ooh.
And then the other good one they did was that kid Ricky Starks.
Yes.
He died at the hands of a crossroad.
Yes. So let me get on Ricky Starks. Before we get on Ricky Starks for a second, we're gonna talk about that. But so I want to paint a picture for you. So Tuesday on Dark, the return of Evil Uno and Stu Grayson from the Dark Order. Okay, impressive fact. I fucking love Evil Uno. Evil Uno is the heel of heels, bro. Like, did you watch Dark?
No, not yet.
Oh, dude, let me tell you what this dude did. This is perfect healing, right? So he's going chop for chop with the jobber dude that he's facing, right? He's like, yeah, you want some? You want some? So he starts taking off his tape, like he's gonna give him a chop with the right hand just to see what's up. He throws the tape. The ref goes after the tape and he pokes old boy in the eye. Oh, fucking Evil Uno. Oh my god. And I'm like, yep, the fucking Dark Order's back. So we had that picture, and then the first match of the evening was the second match of the evening was the women's match. But the first match was Anna Jay, right?
The first match for AEW, yes.
So then we come in from Dark to this match with Anna Jay and Abaddon. Abaddon demolishes Anna Jay. In this whole entire sequence, the Dark Order comes out. Hands Colt Cabana standing at ringside. The contract to become number one contenders for the tag team titles, and then helps out Anna Jay out the ring after a beatdown. And Brody Lee introduces himself. The Dark Order was flexing the whole fucking week. I'm like, it's about goddamn time these cats were flexing. They were flexing.
Because for the first time, they're all together.
Yeah. Nigga, the Dark Order's flexing their might. And I'm like, oh, fucking shit, it's popping, nigga. It's popping. Oh.
So we also had Ricky. That Crossroads T8 was fucking nasty.
Ooh, Ricky Starks. Let me tell you. So I was a fan of Ricky Starks when watching NWA, the weekly show that they have. Like, Ricky Starks is that dude. So when the pandemic hit, NWA let go of a few stars. The shocking one that they let go of was Ricky Starks. I'm like, what? Huh? He was the NWA television champion. You just let the man go? Okay. Well, fuck it. It is what it is. I figured he might end up on NXT at some point. Like, because dude is that good.
Offered a contract by NXT and turned it down.
But I mean, right now it's probably the safer bet because he could come. He came right in. He gave Cody Rhodes even a bigger run for his money than Jungle Boy did 2 weeks ago. Okay, and the match with Jungle Boy was really fucking good. But Ricky Starks is a whole nother animal. He went blow for blow with Cody Rhodes. Every time Cody Rhodes pulled off something, Ricky Starks pulled something right off back. Cody Rhodes did a badass punch. Ricky Starks punched that motherfucker right in the mouth. Like, it was like, dude. I'm like, if you're gonna sign him, you need to use this man. Like, you need to make Ricky Starks a big fucking deal.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of Ricky Starks and Sammy Guevara, which would be excellent.
Or I have another one for you because this involves the speaking out movement now. Ricky Starks and Kip Sabian.
Yeah.
The charisma, the arrogance.
Before we get into the seriousness,
arrogance.
Did you know a wrestler that wrestled on AEW this week is 1 year older than The Undertaker, but looks 20 years younger?
Who?
Billy Gunn.
Oh, yes. He is
older than Mark Calloway.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean,
and he went at it with MJF.
He was in his late 30s when fucking was it late 30s? Oh, mid 30s when he was in the Smoking Guns. So yeah. I mean,
it's just crazy to say. But you look at them side by side. Obviously, Billy Gunn looks like the healthier individual.
Well, we know the dead man is the dead man, and the dead man has had to portray himself as the dead man for all these years. Billy
again,
Gunn.
if you haven't watched The Last Ride, the finale is Sunday. Watch that shit.
Oh yeah, I'm glad. Which is why I'm glad that WWE gave out a free tier of the network because we could fucking watch that shit.
So next up we have, okay, now we're going to move over to NXT, where we have now some fatal four-way shenanigans with both belts on the line. Keith Lee telling Adam Cole, I'm coming for your title. Johnny Gargano telling Keith Lee to back the up. And Prince Balor coming out like, fuck you hoes.
I want your championship, nigga. What? And then Adam Cole's like, y'all sort this shit out, nigga.
And then William Regal said, you know what? Winner take all.
Yeah. Which is gonna be it's crazy.
Are we gonna crown Keith Lee as a double champion?
Man, he needs to sell his shit. Like, if we do this shit, then he needs to beat Gargano in this match to settle this feud finally. Because they did get the best of him last week. Because I don't really see it any other way unless we go Balor.
Balor is still waiting on the flight to Europe to finish up his Walter thing, so I don't see Balor winning any belts right now.
But NXT UK isn't even popping yet right now. That's still up in the air because they won't even allow wrestling. So I don't know.
One of the best moments of NXT though was the Velveteen Dream sitting on his couch talking. He leaned close, and out the corner over here somewhere came Dexter Lumis for the drawing of him and the Velveteen Dream as tag team champions.
Holy shit. This might be something. I don't know. That's fuck it. I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying?
Lumis in the Dream?
Yes. Hell, we've seen crazier pairings. I mean, it's not that bad. Shit, at least you get a machine as a fucking tag team champion.
The funniest shit was Velveteen Dream picked up the paper like, oh no. He's like, he helped me, I helped him, but that's all it is.
Dude, Roderick Strong going to therapy and shit. That shit was hilarious.
Oh my god, the Kyle O'Reilly as a therapist, that shit was fucking hilarious. Oh my fuck. This has been the best NXT story writing they have done since their inception.
Dude, long-term story writing too, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Roderick Strong is finally snapped. You know what I'm saying? Like, after being stalked for weeks.
Get in the trunk. Get in the trunk. Get in the trunk.
I want to get in the trunk.
And Roddy took off. Roddy was ghost.
My goodness.
We have Io Shirai saving people from the SmackDown from the women's tag team champions, which Dakota Kai and Shotzi Blackheart put up a hell of a fight against Bayley and Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Not Dakota Kai, Tegan Nox. My bad.
Tegan Nox. See, I'm thinking that one of these days, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez is going to be the women's tag champs. I think they're going to steal the belts.
Yeah, probably around SummerSlam time.
Overall, I was impressed with NXT this week. I'm glad. Like, we're back to NXT quality shows again.
Yes.
With a little bit of storytelling and action galore. That we're back. NXT's back in business, and then now they got a card to end all cards next week. But we'll talk about that when we come to it. But
all right, now we're going to move on to SmackDown, which when you look at SmackDown this week, you're like, this shit sucked. But then you go back and look at it, you're like, oh no, there's actually some really good stuff this week on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Cesaro snapping was probably the best thing happening on SmackDown.
Yeah. From bell to bell, you know what? I got the feeling when I watched SmackDown that there should have been another hour. And I've never felt that way with a SmackDown. I think always SmackDown is always good at 2 hours. You don't never need to go 3. But, and I'll tell you why when we get to it. But the first things first, the Intercontinental Championship coronation of AJ Styles. AJ Styles being the douchebag heel of all douchebag heels. basically calling Daniel Bryan's way of being Intercontinental Champion as false, a farce, not the way that he does things. He's like, you do things different, Daniel. I don't do them that way. You're different than me, blah, 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 blah. And then out comes the bro, Matt effing Riddle.
And right now, as of this point, we are not going to be jovial about Matt Riddle until some of this shit clears up.
Of course not.
Matt Riddle and AJ Styles had themselves a fantastic match, which was recorded before all this shit came out.
Of course. Now, because obviously, if anybody saw, Matt Riddle being on the show was taken, like, so the promos for Matt Riddle being on the show on the website were taken down. All the Twitter things were taken down, but they still had the match.
Didn't have time to cut the match out because it was a 20-minute match.
Yeah, well, you can't find 20 minutes. And my whole thing is that you already didn't advertise them for the whole show. Wrestling fans aren't going to forget. And even if there's some shit going on, you have to consider two things. First and foremost, based off of WWE's policy, the court of opinion is not the court of law. And two, they're still a business. Okay, so they're gonna do whatever they gotta fucking do, and if Fox says he's gonna be on there, he's gonna be on there. I bet you Fox was the one that made the last call.
Well, yeah, because you also got to remember, Fox loved Matt Riddle when he was part of UFC.
Yeah,
Matt Riddle is a Fox guy.
Yeah, so that's just gonna be the way it is for a little while. But it was a good match. Matt Riddle did Matt Riddle things. AJ Styles did AJ Styles things. AJ Styles screwed up by getting pissed off at Daniel Bryan and bragging about his shit. Matt Riddle took advantage, and boom, it was over.
Bro, Derek, it was over. But the most interesting thing coming out of that coronation was the fact that AJ Styles said Drew Gulak did not earn anything. Listen here, sir. He beat you clean one-on-one.
Super clean. Super clean. Super duper clean. You got to give that man a title shot. But it's been announced that Drew Gulak versus AJ Styles next week, which I'm excited for. That's going to be
This is a big time for Drew Gulak. Because he's always been outshined by everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Guarantee you, though, this is that before next week's shows air, WWE is going to do a thorough investigation on what's going on. They're not the law and they're not the courts, but they have. It's kind of like TMZ. When you have enough money and you're willing to pay enough people to get the truth out of them, you know what I'm saying? You'll get it out one way or the other, right? And so
one of the people who fell victim was somebody who admitted to the wrongdoing. Jack Gallagher was fired from the WWE today.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he did act inappropriately and he made his apologies. It doesn't help anything, but at least he admitted it and didn't try to hide it.
Yeah. And so the next thing on the list is
so we got Cesaro and Nakamura beat the New Day last week. This week we had the New Day against
Lucha
House Party.
Yeah, which they got a tag team title shot, even though, and that's what they were pissed off at, which it makes sense. How's Lucha House Party gonna get a fucking title shot? They never beat the tag team champs. We fucking beat the tag team champs, and we're not getting a fucking title shot. So
I honestly feel bad for Michael Cole right now because he has become the point of abuse to all this shit. Yeah. Any mistreatments going on with wrestlers, Michael Cole has been the point of abuse.
Hey, listen, it's fucked up. It's cool though because you had the heels high-fiving the other heels. You had Bailey and Sasha high-fiving Cesaro and Nakamura. I'm like,
but then Cesaro said it. I haven't been here for 8 years to get treated with this bullshit.
Yep, exactly.
I was like, somebody done pissed this man off.
I'm like, let's fucking go. I just really wish that it was the bar. I missed the bar. You know that?
I understand that, but I'm going to give the new finisher that Cesaro and Nakamura have. They killed Kofi Kingston. If you don't know what their finisher is, it is the Cesaro swing with a Kinshasa that you know.
See, if I could rebook this whole thing, right? If I could rebook this going back 2 or 3 years, I would have made Nakamura turn heel during the match against AJ Styles at WrestleMania. I would have had Paul Heyman be in his corner. At that point, Paul Heyman just handed this man, here's a lead pipe. Referee's down. You do what you will with it, Mr. Nakamura. And then boom, takes out AJ Styles. Ken Sasha, 1, 2, 3. Nakamura and Brock Lesnar under Paul Heyman's stable. Because that would have just been like the greatest thing since sliced bread. And it could have continued on for years. But no, we have what we have. But I'm actually happy about this partnership because they're calling themselves what is it? International. I'll tell you right now what they call themselves.
So they dropped the artist collective name?
Yep, they dropped that one. I'll tell you what it is now. Cesaro just put it up there. Cesaro. Calls himself International Heavy Hitters.
International Heavy. I like it.
International Heavy Hitters. I like it. So hopefully by the time next week comes, that they stick with that name, and Vince doesn't call them the Viking experience or the Cesaro experience or the heavy hitting experience or something with an experience in it, which doesn't make any goddamn sense. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
So Nikki Cross impressed this week in a loss to Sasha Banks.
Yes, I think Nikki's gonna snap at some point. She's gonna go full what was the name of the group?
Sanity.
Yeah, she's gonna go full Sanity. Nikki Cross. She's gonna break the breaking point.
What she stabbed was just confronting Aleister Black like Nikki has a secret.
Yes. I think she's gonna stab Sasha with a fork at the pay-per-view, some shit like that. I don't fucking know. But yeah, I was very impressed. You gotta love Bayley as a heel, man. I'm sorry, Bayley's the
best female heel in the world right now.
I also love the fact that Sasha Banks is the gatekeeper to fight Bayley. Like, if you want a match with Bayley, you got to beat Sasha Banks first. Like, it's not.
Sasha Banks don't want to be that person. Every time Sasha's like, "What the fuck?"
I said, I'm like, y'all should cosplay as Diesel and Shawn Michaels. Okay, this is not because Sasha Banks is Diesel at this point. You ain't getting past fucking you ain't getting past me, nigga. You ain't gonna touch the champ. Fuck you think this is?
So now they have theoretically wrote off a storyline by trading Dolph Ziggler to Raw. So you got Mandy on Miz TV, which is why I do not know why it was not the dirt sheet. Since John Morrison was there, it was Miz TV with John Morrison. Maybe that's going to that longer story build of those two having a match.
He got his rights revoked. That's what happened. His television rights were revoked. He's no longer able to.
Even though the Miz is the one that cost John Morrison the World Heavyweight title.
Yep. Rights revoked. Sorry. Here's what it is.
So we got this continuation of the very heated and actually better than I thought it was going to be rivalry of Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose.
Yes. I'm upset, though, because there is a rubber match. You know they're 2-2 against each other. There has to be a rubber match to settle this shit. I wish they would have solved it sooner because I like – this is going to sound – the smarks are going to hear me say this, and they're going to be pissed off that I'm saying this, but I give zero fucks about what the smarks say. This is Hollywood J. Black telling you like it is, okay? You see, you got me on the camera? I'm telling you like it is. Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler, and Sonya Deville could have been the next D-Generation X. Let me tell you why. Oh, look at that. Let me explain my position, okay? Let me explain. Okay. So Dolph Ziggler and Sonya Deville have this chemistry. Like when they feed off of each other. And you feel like Dolph Ziggler has that look in his eyes every time he looks at Sonya Deville like, fuck, if you weren't gay, I'd fucking fuck you. Like, I love you. But because the words that are coming out of your mouth are so wonderful. Like when Sonya Deville talks, man, people fucking listen, right?
Her promos have gotten a lot better.
Sonya Deville promo, like I'd kill for a Sonya Deville promo any fucking day. But like you see it, and they have that chemistry. Mix in Bobby Roode as 97 Triple H, right? With the robes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Dolph Ziggler is already a sexy boy shimmy away from being Shawn Michaels. You know, and Dolph
He's Shawn Michaels like. He really is.
And Bobby Roode is somewhere between Ric Flair and Triple H. You put Sonya Deville, who's basically the MMA version of China, and fuck, that's money. You print that shit. You print fucking money. And while you could probably, if you can even book a feud down the road where you have Triple H and Shawn Michaels one last ride against.
You already seen how that happens? No.
Yeah, and they tear everything in their body as Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode pick them apart, and it would be fucking glorious. Okay, yes. It would be. The money. You can't print better money than this. Okay, like it's literally staring them right in the face. Like I'm just really hoping that they get this rubber match. Sonya Deville goes to Raw, manages Ziggler and Roode like as a surprise manager. Gets them going back up again. Ziggler and Roode win the tag team titles from the Street Profits. Oh my God, the magic. And you know what though? Because it's kind of like if Chyna and Rick Rude were one person. There we go. That's what it is. That's what Sonya Deville is. So you know how they had Chyna and Rick Rude? We don't need two people. Fucking Sonya Deville's got Rick Rude promo skills. And China's intimidation factor. Fuck. Why did I think of this shit earlier? Why didn't WWE think of this shit earlier?
Because just like Tony Khan and Cody Rhodes, they're ignoring you. Anyway.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to step up my game. I'm gonna just have to I'm gonna have to show up. Will work for access. Like give me nosebleed seats, nigga, to anything.
So and finally on this week's SmackDown, we had the re-arrival of an old friend. The Firefly Funhouse came back, and Ramblin' Rabbit was making fun of Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt because he lost to Braun Strowman.
Well, no, because he was crying because he was lost to Braun Strowman. Get it right. So, remember one thing that's canon in the entire Wyatt universe is that that Bray Wyatt did take a dip in the lake where Matt Hardy. It's the lake of, what is it called?
The lake of reincarnation.
Yes. So Wyatt has taken a dip in there, which is probably why the Fiend even exists to begin with. Okay. So
are you blaming Matt Hardy for the Fiend?
Did you see WWE 2K19? You played WWE 2K19, right?
Even though Bray Wyatt mentioned the Fiend 7 years ago, way before the lake of reincarnation was done.
Yes, because Matt Hardy traveled through time. Remember, 30 minutes is like 2 weeks inside the multiverse. Okay, so what ended up happening is that in the lake of reincarnation, Bray Wyatt was pulled into 3 different entities. We have the Funhouse Bray, which is the Bray,
the happy-go-lucky Firefly Funhouse Bray.
Yes, you have the cult leader, Waylon Mercy Bray, and then you have the Demon, which is the Fiend. Okay, and remember that's canon because in WWE 2K20. Oh shit! He said he's a wrestler. I know Ricochet and a few AEW superstars. Me and Ricochet had the same trainer. That's awesome, bro.
Good to meet you, Mike. How you doing, man?
Good to meet you, man. And so we took one, split it into 3. And that's canon. It's you can go back and you see that they didn't delete the footage of the Lake of Reincarnation. It's there. So it's canon. And the fact that Broken Matt Hardy still exists, it's canon. So therefore, and I know people.
Stop right now. Stop. Okay. So what I want to see come out of this is this. I want to see a cinematic match. Braun Strowman and Heavy Machinery against Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt, Cult Leader Bray Wyatt, and The Fiend.
You're asking a lot, sir. You're asking too much.
Well, that's good to know, Mike. You still wrestle?
You're asking too much from the multiverse. Okay, you can't ask.
Oh. You want to make a storyline from a video game canon, but I'm asking too much.
It's canon.
Godzilla, some fucking ninjas, and the return of a cult leader, and I'm asking too much.
It's canon. Hey, we just had this whole issue with Matt Hardy. How there's 3 different Matt Hardys. It's canon. The same place. He doesn't give a crap anymore. That's half the problem. That. You know what I'm saying? Hell, the good thing about this shows like what we do and like Cultaholic and What Culture wouldn't exist if Vince McMahon didn't actually gave a crap. Because then we'd be like, we're fucking happy and, you know what I'm saying, we can't do shit. But it is what it is. So I'm willing to bet that the 3 Mankinds come from the same multiverse.
3 Mankinds against the 3 Bray Wyatts. Book it.
Mankind's final match. He just had surgery to fuse his neck. We might be able to pull off one more match. Could you imagine one more cinematic match? Oh my God. Anyway,
I'm sure Mick would do it.
So I'm excited to see where this goes until.
You know why I'm saying I'm sure Mick would do it?
What?
Because I know you heard Vince McMahon say it. Mick Foley asked him, "Can I do a boneyard match?"
Oh my God. Well, Nick Foley just had surgery. You know, he's hopefully gets well soon. Another 6 months. He's finally feeling better. He says he can finally feel things he hasn't felt in years thanks to this fucking surgery, which I'm good. That's always good.
Now it's time to so we got Cult Leader Bray Wyatt back, and this is going to be an interesting challenge for Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I'm excited for it mainly because it gives us something to do. Because right now, as it stands, which is also the unfortunate side that Mike Media was talking about. The unfortunate side of things is that, well, good. Hey,
oh hell yeah,
we're gonna hit you up with a subscribe. Then once you, we'll actually hit you. He'll hit you with a subscribe after we pull it up. So, we'll love to be seeing those. That's awesome, man. I'm glad to have you up on here. So the problem with Vince McMahon is by not caring about the SmackDown side of things. He has yet to build another credible opponent for Braun Strowman. I don't see, which is why AJ Styles is the Intercontinental Champion. I don't want Daniel Bryan going in the ring with Braun Strowman. I mean, he's booked this complete fuckery, especially since it's just all fucked up. But he hasn't booked. The only credible opponent now is Bray Wyatt. So this is where we're at, and so now we can get the 3 faces of Bray all the way up until SummerSlam, which you know that at this point the Fiend has to kill Braun Strowman, probably in some Firefly Funhouse burning cell.
If there's no crowd, it has to be a very cinematic match, and the Fiend has to go over.
Yeah, like without a doubt. So so WWE's booked themselves into a decent corner because now that match is gonna be, the anticipation for that match is gonna be good. But how's he going to beat Bray? That's going to be fun.
So now we need to get into some serious shit. I'm just going to remove us for 1 second to talk. It has affected all wrestling industries, independent and mainstream. Jimmy Havoc has checked himself into a sex rehab and a drug and alcohol rehab.
Yes.
AEW will support him.
Now, keep in mind with Jimmy Havoc, he didn't hurt his wife physically, because I want to make sure that people understand that because, this wasn't one of the cases with Jimmy Havoc where he abused his wife or tried to assault his wife in the ways that these other wrestlers are describing it. The Jimmy Havoc situation is different to where he harmed himself, and which sucks because Jimmy Havoc is a really good wrestler, and he's even stated himself in certain times that he has to delve deep into the darkness because he doesn't feel pain, you know, and he harms himself, which sucks. I have a friend of mine who harms herself still Even though that she's gotten past it, she does it to ease a little bit of pain, and it sucks, man. Like, and to see him go through that, it sucks. So I don't want to include him in the people that did wrong, blatantly did wrong. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm going to read from the article right now. Several wrestlers, including Daniel Starr, Travis Banks, and Jordan Devlin, and Matt Riddle, were accused of sexual misconduct. Progress Wrestling has suspended or terminated its relationship with the parties in question, which means Mark Paz Perry, Jordan Devlin was stripped of their Progress Tag Team titles.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Riddle is still under investigation by the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
They released Jack Gallagher.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I think Progress is doing the right thing here because Jordan Devlin, I think he's going to be one of the biggest catastrophes in this because, yes, he's a dick and what he did is wrong, but the man is amazing in the ring.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And that's good. That one's going to hurt because remember, we were going to tell a huge story about Devlin versus Santos, El Hijo Fantasma, about this whole, the whole Cruiserweight 205 Live Championship. It sucks because I'm not insensitive. I understand that everything that we've gone through. We're at a point though where I'm not going to be one of the, I know people probably thinking, oh, he's going to be one of them dudes that talk about that's defending the people. I'm not defending shit. I'm not defending anyone. Anybody who uses their power to abuse a woman is fucked up. Hands down, it don't matter. It is what it is. The big issue that I have though is that I'm surprised that a lot of the stuff that they're talking about isn't more widespread and isn't more well known.
Could that hold on? What did he say?
He says seems like everybody was accused of that this week. I mean, yeah.
It's basically a rebirth of the Me Too movement in Hollywood.
Yeah, it started with one post. It started with one post and then it exploded. I can't remember what the original post is. It even affected Destiny, oddly enough. Yep. That a Destiny streamer got accused of it but this Destiny streamer was a complete scumbag to begin with. So I'm really not surprised. Oddly enough, with somebody like him, I wasn't surprised that sexual harassment was on the
I shouldn't be surprised by this, but I am. And that is the fact that Paige has come out with her actions in the past. I'm surprised that I know I shouldn't be because she's changed over the years and she's in a better place than she was when she did all that stuff. Matt Riddle is so out of it. He probably did it and can't. Yeah, Matt Riddle is a known pothead.
Yeah. The whole thing is with Matt Riddle, the Matt Riddle situation is weird because we now have some infidelity that we have to admit, but we also now have a restraining order. And it's probably one of those things that somewhere in between what is being told is the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like most of
the Me Too stuff.
Yeah.
People accuse Terry Crews, but ultimately Terry Crews was one who was actually abused.
Yeah, exactly. And so like I said, we get to a point that there should have been policies in place where women wrestlers can't be riding with men wrestlers unless they're dating or their spouses. That should have been done from the past. You have to make that happen.
But since they're all independent contractors, you cannot force them to do it.
No, because that would be making rules based off of how they work and punishing them for the rules that how they work, and then you can't do that legally because they would no longer be independent contractors. You can only dictate what they can and can't do inside of the ring in order to do work. You can't tell them to do it.
I actually have I'm going to share this because you just talked about this, man. Your favorite guy in AEW right now, Evil Uno, posted on Twitter. You ready for this one?
Yes.
He said, I applaud these courageous enough to speak out about their abuse. Our profession has never been kind to those who do. This behavior needs to stop. Pro wrestling should be a safe space for everyone. He also shared a story of an incident when he was a teenage boy in which a priest forced him to wrestle with only his boxers under the assumption it was for a TV taping.
Oh my goodness. Wow, that's. And did you hear about the new stuff regarding Velveteen Dream?
With the kid stuff?
The new one, like the one that happened.
I haven't seen his name pop up yet.
So apparently, this was a kid that was 17, because there was the one that we knew about, like a month back prior to
the one that got proven to be false. Yes.
Yeah. So this one is a different one, where he's asking specific questions and moving away, like kind of when. So you have to see the Twitter tweets, and so I'm just like, man, this is rough. Like, I don't think we have to remember that Patrick Clark is what, 23 years old. Okay, 23, 24 years old.
23-year-old bisexual man. Yes.
Yeah. So if we're talking about when the kid was 17, 2 years ago when this happened, then this was Patrick Clark was 21 years old, 21 years old at the time when this happened. It's something to think about in the grand scheme of things. Like they're coming at him, but like they're coming at him hard, and it's just like, man, I don't know. I don't.
Okay, so the first allegation came from the Twitter user at Josh Fuller PW, who uploaded a lengthy statement. The statement details instances where Dream allegedly used his position as an already famous wrestler to introduce the victims, who were minors at the time, into committing lewd and sexual acts.
Yeah, the thing is, here in Florida, if they were, he says, I know Velveteen is weird anyway. I met him twice, and his presents are just weird. You know what's funny? When did we meet Velveteen? Brian met Velveteen Dream when he was still in Tough Enough, which was, and he was kind of, and Brian describes him as eccentric, I guess, because he doesn't know how to use the proper.
Well, he's a modern day gold on-screen gold dust.
Shoot, let's take it one step further. Like, what we're talking about, like Playboy Buddy Rose or Adrian Adonis type shit. He's a modern day Adrian Adonis.
But Adrian Adonis is actually straight, which nobody knew. But yeah.
Well, the living embodiment of the gimmick of Adrian Adonis. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I guess we'll go there. So it's maybe he's trying to figure himself out and trying to figure out who he is. Maybe it's all a game for him. Who fucking knows? It could be bisexual, may not necessarily be gay, but that's neither here nor there. The point is that you can't be doing that to minors. You got to, when somebody says 17, you got to cut the nigga off. If you're gonna be gay,
and not only that, don't use your fucking fame to get sexual favors.
Yeah. That's what I said. If you're gonna be gay, you're gonna be gay. Ain't nobody gonna sit here and sweat you if you're gay or not. Like, I'm open and accepting. We're at a point. We had Darren Young, wasn't the primetime players briefly tag team champions for a minute? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when he came out and then he was put with Bob Backlund and then fired.
Yeah, but because Vince is weird. I don't know. Which is back to what Mike Media said, like in his third comment. Vince doesn't give a crap anymore. So you see how all this comes full circle. But I think that's what we're gonna get to. This point, we're gonna have this investigation. People may or may not get paid off. Shit's gonna get brushed under the rug, and then we'll talk again. But the other stuff, I think anything that doesn't affect WWE's bottom line is gonna continue to stay out. Anything that does is gonna get swept under the rug.
Yeah, the whole Matt Riddle thing is going to be hard for them to get over and get around due to the fact that they threw Kurt Angle behind him.
Well, now, so we got to explain. We have the cheating situation, which is documented. So we have him as a cheater. Okay, fine. We'll live with it. But then we have to
we're human and we make mistakes. Yes.
Yeah. So we have to take him cheating and then somehow take what she says about forcible rape, and then make it all stick. You see what I'm saying? Like the problem now is, and we've seen this all. I've seen I'm not a lawyer, but I've seen enough Law and Order SVU episodes to tell you that if one person if two people do something completely wrong and immoral, you can't believe neither one in what they say. It doesn't hold a candle. You know what I'm saying? That's in the public opinion. Me, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, somewhere in there is the truth. But because that one person did infidelity and the other person was cool with being a cheating person as well and contributing to the infidelity, who do you believe?
And we also have to go back another one from Mike's comments. This one.
Matt Rule's so out of it, he probably did it and can't remember. See, it's. But that's the problem. So now, like I said, now we have just wrestlers around the world just going through this. I mean, I'm just like.
It seems to me that the UK scene was the most affected by this.
Well, yeah, we had the one dude you just talked about, like the first name that you said on your list. He's a trainer in there. He actually gave up his position. Matter of fact, Dave Logano, the vice president of NWA, was accused of it. He apologized and resigned. So trust me when I tell you that this is widespread. He said all these so-called allegations are probably just fans trying to make a name for themselves. I think some of them. I think wrestler on wrestler is different than the fans. So the fans, I believe that the fans is always. We've seen that where fans make up shit. Like we've seen this.
And but a wrestler like Piper Niven, she came out today and said, but she's not going to, go after her assailants because she has forgiven them for what they've done to her in the past.
Yeah.
But as far as the fans go, yeah, there's going to be people just like the whole Terry Crews situation going to accuse them of something just to try and make a quick buck.
So while I'm at this, so let me talk about this for a second. So remember the peak of this Me Too movement, I want to say it was 2016?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so my father-in-law, God rest his soul, he ran a welding rod business in California. And when this movement started really picking up steam, they fired this lady, and then the lady accused one of the employees for sexual harassment. Now, you're a rich man, okay? You go to a lawyer. Well, she sues you for $100,000. You go to the lawyer and the lawyer tells you it's going to take me $300,000 to fix this case for you. Who are you paying? The person or the lawyer?
You're Ray Lewising that shit, and you're getting it all under the table.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Then that's because it's cheaper to settle and get it done than it is to come out. This is a legitimate story, and I have the documentation on it. It's crazy. But I'm not saying that anybody's wrong, but just like Mike alluded to, that there's some fans just like we've seen the rioters be opportunists in the riots during the Black Lives Matter. There's people that will take the movement and try to make a fast buck, and then that's not right.
Or steal Lego sets.
Yes, and we have to respect the real accusers and weed through the BS.
Yeah.
I think in the UK is a problem. The UK is going to have to restructure their shit. I mean, who knows? Triple H is really going to be pissed off. He has to go in and fix this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the one that's made this big push to the UK. He's got to come in
and he's trying to make that big push for NXT Japan right now.
Yeah, and with all this shit, who fucking knows, man?
But that is enough for us tonight. We talked about Backlash. We talked about Raw, AEW, NXT, SmackDown. As I like to say, not to brag or anything, this is the best damn wrestling show on the internet. The Industry Outsiders. Now, what do you got to say to them, Hollywood?
What do I got to say? Mike Media, if you can get me tickets to AEW Fighter Fest, I appreciate it, though. No, I'm just playing. I'll stand outside the show with a sign.
Damn guy, you. Keep bothering Tony Khan and Cody Rhodes and let Mr. Media down there get his YouTube shit started.
I know. I'm just messing. I'll just have to stand outside with a sign. We'll work for Fighter Fest, okay?
2020 has been crazy. This year, it's seen everything from hidden from the world to finally being without.
Oh my God! That deserves a shirt. Hashtag 2020 vision. That's a shirt. Mike, you need to make that a shirt now. That's $1 million waiting for you right there.
Right? 2020 vision.
Yep.
Love it. But go ahead and tell what you got to say, Mr. Black.
Yeah. So first, if anybody has tickets to Fighter Fest, please send them to P.O. Box 3. Oh, fuck. No, all seriousness aside, I want to thank everybody for watching the Overtime Sports Show.
And when you send us Fighter Fest tickets, you got to send me a plane ticket so I can fly out there and go.
Oh Lord. No, I want to thank everybody for watching the Industry Outsiders Wrestling Show. If you're like what you see, make sure you like, subscribe. We try to be as entertaining as what is it? What we call it, right down the middle, unless we're like really, really fans of something or we really, really hate something. I'm just fucking up shit. Oh my God, the Rona's hitting me. Oh fuck. Ricky Ortiz. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell. We come on here every Saturday night just to shoot the shit and have fun. And that's really about it.
Like you said, we will be back next Saturday night with some more wrestling talk. Hopefully we know more about what is officially going on with this movement that's going on, and I'm going to just remove us from the situation.
Where did everybody go? Well, anyways, this is your boy James, aka Hollywood J Black. Where'd you go?
I'm right here.
You maybe disappeared. We're still live.
Oh shit! No, I didn't even end the broadcast. I was trying to do a fucking I was trying to do a nice little fucking talk for people and shit.
But anyway,
can you see me here now?
I can still see you, sir. You're still there.
Okay, I'm still here. All right. Did you hear my heartfelt spiel about 2 minutes ago?
Nope, you kicked me out the broadcast, sir.
God damn it. Anyway.
We've gone off the rails, ladies and gentlemen.
So, as I was saying, everybody needs to, if something has happened to you, yes, speak out about it. Talk to somebody. If it hasn't happened and you're just trying to make a quick buck, you're just as bad as the people doing these allegations.
That's right. Make sure you speak up, speak out. If you see somebody going through abuse, thank you.
Video will always be up on the channel.
Yes, definitely. We always keep our broadcast, but we love doing this. We'll make sure it keeps
football.
It's like Peter Griffin. It's time for some football. Yeah.
Football.
All right. So that's my man, Big Sim. I'm Hollywood J Black. If you see anything, speak out about it. Until then, we're gonna see you guys next week on the Industry Outsiders. We out this bitch. Deuces.
And thank everybody for showing up.
Yes.